Okay, hello guys and welcome back to Chris Flies Planes. Chris here of course, and today we are back for episode 2 of the DCS Mirage 2000c campaign. So as always we can start up the same way as we always do, which is switch battery on, and we can swing down over here and just get the radios on. We can wait for our radio check.
2, this is 1, radio check, channel 1, Victor UHF. 1, 2, Charlie. Yeah, I copy that too. Radio check, channel 1, UHF. Yep, reaching 5x5. Colt 1-1 Pontiac flight is ready for startup.
Okay, there we go.
Contact Vatiani. Proceed with startup and takeoff procedure. Join up with us at waypoint 2.
So let's just get the radio done here. So we're just going to call up ground power, get ground power turned on here.
Pontiac copies, rejoin at waypoint 2. Copy.
And let's get some lights on in the cockpit.
Ground power is now on.
Excellent, and now we can get the INS aligned. So we're going to do something a little bit different today guys, just because I've noticed one of the problems I have with the missions is sometimes the triggers don't trigger properly, and I think it's because the INS is not properly aligning. So what I did is I switched this controller here to VEI, and if we switch that on to LG, and then we pop back out to the briefing notes here, you can see our location here. This is our initial position, 413755 and if we jump back into the aircraft you can see that that's not actually set up. Yeah, you'll see that that's not actually set up as our initial, or maybe it is. So there's one. So if I do this and go 0, 0, does that change? Yeah, it does. So that's one. Okay, so yeah, so if I do this and go to 0, 0, so our prep, you can see that that's not accurate. So we're actually going to change that. So by setting this to VEI, we pop up here and press this left one here. And we're going to press N here for north, and we're going to set it up as 413755. And insert, and then we can go to this right one here, click the same button, and I'm going to click east, and we're going to set that up as 045 0228 and insert that. While we're doing that, if we go down here, our starting altitude as well, if we do that and we hit that again to go plus, is 01400 and insert that. And that now sets everything a little bit better for us. So now, if we go back to LG, this can go to status, and this can go to align. It's going to actually align us on where we are. So just a little thing there on how to correct your starting position there guys, and just make sure that's all correct. I'll be back in a moment once the INS is aligned. Okay, so that's the INS alignment complete. So now we can switch this back over to N, and switch this guy to nav. And you can see now that our initial location is actually set up properly. So let's just jump straight in here and do the startup. Just going to pull our parking brake on here, and then let's radio Vatiani for our startup approval.
1-1, request startup.
Okay, so we're going to do our fuel cutoff switch, our two fuel pumps, our starter fuel pump, click the switch up to confirm the right click point. There you are. And then just make sure that this guy is back, and then hit that start button. See our RPM climbing up there. So let's get our canopy closed just to get the noise down a little bit. Okay, and it's going to push our throttle past the idle cutoff, and that should start pushing us up. So while that's going, let's get everything else configured here. Let's get our radar going. Let's get our lights on. There we go. All of this is set nicely. Let's get the altitude indicator uncaged. Let's get our head-up display on, our Down display on. Bingo fuel is 1000 today. Okay, that's our engine started. So just gonna turn our starter fuel switch off, and let's call ATC here and just get our ground power disconnected. There we go.
Copy.
Excellent. Let's get our countermeasures on here. Let's get this set to where we want to be, and this is going to be set to 22x. Beautiful. Let's get that turned on. Okay. And with that, let's just get our floodlights turned off. I think everything is looking pretty grand here. We seem to be about ready to go, which is great news. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's just get our taxi lights on here. That's better. And let's radio Vaziani for our taxi approval.
Pontiac 1-1. Request taxi to runway.
Any second now.
Pontiac 1-1. Vaziani, clear to taxi to runway 32.
Oh, well, I remember. Let's get emergency hydraulics, our audible warning switch, and our pitot heats on. And then we can take the parking brake off, and we are good to start rolling. So we're going to be heading out to runway 32 today, taking off, guys.
Alright, 2-1's rolling.
And the goal today is we are flying up as flight lead as Pontiac 1. We have Pontiac 2 will be following us to the runway as our wingman. And then we'll be joining at waypoint 2 with Colt 1 and 2. Let's give them those wheels steering on. I always forget that. Oh yeah, we'll be joining with them at waypoint 2. I have found with this mission there are a few issues with it in terms of things triggering properly. It seems a little bit awkward, but hopefully it goes well today. If not, I'll show you the point at where it fails, and hopefully we can work it out. Anyway, we're going to be going left down here. If you are struggling with taxiing and finding where you're going, just hit F10, click this button here to focus on you and zoom right in, and you can see where we are going there. Obviously it doesn't pause while you're looking at the map, so keep an eye on where you're going. But you can see here, we were taking off from runway 32, which is going up this way. So we just head down the taxiway here, hang right at the end. That's going to take us down to the runway, sorry. And we should be good to go. Taxiing a little bit fast here, but that's okay. Keep this video nice and short, you know. Nice air whack there. Okay, let's just start getting slowed down for this turn here. I do not want to roll her. And there we go, beautiful. Okay, let's just call it Vaziani and just get our takeoff approval.
1-1. Request takeoff. Pontiac 1-1. Vaziani, you are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 29.46.
Okay, let's do one last quick check. Normally, if I was flying this on my own, I would actually wait for my wingman, just for the sake of immersion, but I am not too fussed. Let's get our AFS set up, so that's going to be, where's the click thing there, 1001, we can turn that on to cont mode. I said cont, guys, cont mode. No swearing here, don't you worry about that. And I think we are looking pretty great here. So switch our radar onto standby and let's get rolling. 8. Come on. Wow, she's heavy today. And let's start getting our nose up here. Did we set this back onto nav? We did set it back onto nav. Let's get gear up. There we go. Okay, we can pull her out of afterburner now. I'd be a little bit careful in this flight just to make sure you don't run out of fuel. It's definitely a possibility. I'm just going to fly by hand here to try and make sure. So one of the things I've noticed is it doesn't seem to always trigger the waypoints. So as you can see here in front of us, there is waypoint 1. Click that, we can see that. Make sure we hit that exactly, just to guarantee that we're going to thread that. Try and slow our speed a little bit more. We're going to be aiming for 16,000 feet at waypoint 2. We've got plenty of altitude to make up, so don't worry about going into quite a steep dive. Quite a steep climb here, sorry. Outside, make sure well, our air brakes are on, that's probably not helping. Let's get them off. I have them on like a slide switch on my throttle, so if I've forgotten to turn them off from my last landing, occasionally I do fly them on. Something to look out for, it's why I quite jump out of the plane every now and again and just check we are configured nicely for flying. Anyway, let's just check we're going to hit waypoint 1 here and see if it automatically switches over. I don't know if it does automatically switch over. You'd kind of imagine that it would. Anyway, let's turn over towards waypoint 2. Yeah, it doesn't seem to trigger it. I don't know if that's an issue or not. Hopefully it won't be. We'll see as we keep going on the flight here. Nonetheless, let's get over towards waypoint 2. Nose down a little bit, just get a little bit more speed up. So we're about 5 degrees here, that's good bang autopilot. And if we set this guy to 16,000 here, and hit this guy, hopefully this will lock in and then it'll take us up to 16,000. It's much easier that way. Let's get our radar actually on now. I can't even remember which one of these switches it is. This guy? You? Is it... No. 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 Oh yeah, here we go. So we just switch that over to there, it just squares that out, which I prefer. So we can now radio to
Cool, this is Pontiac, joining formation.
Colt. We are going to be joining formation, and they are...
Pontiac, Gold 1-1, copy.
So we can just throw ourselves off this way now. We'll see them come up on our radar, hopefully. Let's squash that down. And as we head towards waypoint 3, we should see them in front.
No questions, Pontiac is ready to copy.
Looks like them. Just going to get one of them locked.
Pontiac, this is Colt 1-2. The autopilot panel is located to the left of your head. It has 3 main modes of operation.
Is that Colt 1-2 there?
It allows you
There's
to
Colt
hold
1-2 there.
altitude and heading, or alternatively, altitude and roll angle. The latter will be true if you engage the autopilot while your roll exceeds 10 degrees. The minimum operational speed is 200 knots at the altitude of 500 feet. Go ahead and test both modes now. Let me know when you are ready to go through the advanced mode.
Okay.
Pontiac is ready to copy.
So we're not worried about going through the autopilot training.
Advanced mode will let you either hold current altitude or select the altitude at which you want the aircraft to fly. Current altitude hold can be switched on by pressing the Alt button when the AEP is engaged. To set the altitude you want, use the selector knobs located just below the autopilot panel. Try both these modes now and let me know when you are ready to proceed.
Okay, once again, we are ready to move on.
2-1, you're finished? Confirm. So, more advanced than what we have on the Starship.
Just get a little bit of throttle up here.
Yeah, I agree. Colt, Pontiac is ready to proceed.
Roger. In the third, most advanced mode, the autopilot will follow the ILS course and glide scope to the runway threshold. Obviously, that is something we won't be able to try out now.
Whoa, you're telling me the plane can land all by itself?
Not exactly, but almost. That covers the basics of the autopilot.
Good. Pontiac set it up and let's get going. Pushing from waypoint 2, push channel 3 on the
Okay,
main
let's
radio.
push channel 3 on the main radio. I'm just going to saddle up with Colt here. You can see you've just got locked and off our nose.
Colt, this is Seraph. We are in position at Angel 30.
Seraph, good. We have your visual.
Okay, and there we go. There is Colt 1 and 2. So I actually want to unlock him if I can, and lock. Okay, I haven't got unlock mapped, but we actually want to get in behind this guy here. Still flying exceptionally slowly. Not entirely sure why. Nonetheless, I'm just going to quickly check something, guys, because I want to make sure. Okay, so if I can do back on the keyboard, that should be grand. So I'm actually going to just unlock him. Okay, no wonder we've got a little bit of problems here. Our gear seems to have come down. Okay, here we go. So for some reason, Colt's not letting us saddle up on him. As I said, this mission seems to be a little bit awkward at times. So what we are going to do instead is just make our own way over towards waypoint 3. Stick autopilot on and altitude hold on, and he should start flying towards waypoint 3. We've got a little bit of flight before anything interesting happens, guys, so I'll see you again in a moment.
Pontiac 1-1, Magic, Bra.
Pontiac 1-2, got some tracers on the ground. 1 o'clock. Colt 1-1, Teddy. Looks like another skirmish. Break. Prowler, Colt 1-1. Deadly tracer fire on the ground. Stand by for coordinates.
Pontiac 1-1, Magic Bra 033-416 at 19,000, flanking.
The shooting takes place 5 miles to the north of the following coordinates. North 4, 2, 4, 2, 3. East 4, 4, 4, 3, 1, 5.
Colt Prowler copies 5 miles north from north 42423, east 444315. Anchor at your current position and stand by. We are checking the situation with Joint Command.
Magic Bra 035-418 at 15,000, flanking.
Pontiac 1 flight. Climb to Angels 1-8 and hold position.
Pontiac 1-1 copies, Angels 18, standing by.
Pontiac 1-1, Magic Bra 035-418 at 13,000,
This is 2.
flanking.
There is not much that we can do without any air-to-ground weapons.
This is 1, I agree. We could go in with the guns, but first we need to get a sit rep from Prowler.
Yo, with all due respect, sir, this is danger close. There's no way you can deploy any air-ground weapons without commands from somebody on the ground. Yeah, Pontiac 1-1 agrees. Before jumping on F-15s, I was flying A-10s in Afghanistan. And I've seen many situations like this, but we never went kinetic without a proper 9-line.
What do you suggest then?
We could do a show of force. It's something we used to do a lot with the Taliban. We'll go in low, drop some flares directly above them. Should at least allow our guys to break contact.
Roger, I have contact Prowler. Stand by. Prowler, Colt 1-1. Request permission for show of force. Or fly by other enemy positions.
Colt, Prowler, wait one. Colt, Prowler, permission granted for the flyby. Be advised, Georgian Border Guard Patrol is on the eastern side of the village. They have been warned.
Prowler, Colt copies. Break. Pontiac, go ahead to the run with flares. Play formation, continue dry.
Flight.
Colt, Pontiac copies. We're set up for the run.
Magic Bra 032-412 at 7,000, flanking.
Okay guys, here we go. So as you heard, listening to all that, we are doing a run over this. Currently flying, let's check the map actually. So you're pretty much flying north to south. If we just look at our labels here, you can see all of the bad guys are on this side, the west side of town. So we are going to come in low and hopefully drop a load of flares on them and trigger this mission. It's probably about low enough, I reckon.
Colt, Pontiac is off. Good effects. It looks like the enemy has stopped shooting for now.
There we go.
Pontiac, Colt copies. Break. Prowler 1-1. Colt flight report task complete.
Colt, Prowler, roger. The Georgians are sending 2 Hueys with reinforcements into the area. 0 remain on station until they arrive. Colt, you may depart. Continue along the flight path. Prowler, 0. anchoring at our current position.
Okay, so that is us for now. So now we just get ourselves back up to 16,000 feet. If I can do that. And we're returning to base, I reckon. I think that's all there is to it. Let's get ourselves lined up for waypoint 5 here. So yeah, so that particular trigger doesn't always seems to work as you go over. Just basically my hint to you is just go over low and drop as many flares as possible, and hopefully it triggers. If not, I think you can just fly the rest of the mission anyway, and kind of it lets you off. But
Pontiac Colt, we need to get on the TACAN training. You will navigate to TACAN station in Coutés. Once you get overhead, you are to fly the outbound radial 18 for 20 miles and join up with us there. Go ahead,
So
turn to 44X and switch to the T/R mode.
so we are continuing with training. Okay, so you do have to do that to trigger this next step. But we're just going to switch the TACAN here over to X44, and we're going to zoom in on this.
Interviews and practice.
Pontiac 1-1, Magic Bra, 0
It is convenient for setting up a rejoin point if you sight on your goal. Keep to Angels 1-5 and rejoin at radial 18, 20 miles out.
Cool, Pontiac copies.
So to do this, basically we are going to fly towards the TACAN. So you can see the needle down on just to the right hand side of our head down display there. We're going to get that centered and fly the TACAN. And then once we literally overfly the TACAN, so once our distance hits 0, we then fly the radial 18 or 180.
Pontiac 1-1, Colt 1-2. So you say you flew on the A-10s?
Yeah, A-firm. I deployed with the 75th from Pope back in September 2006. We went to Bagram.
Right, wasn't that after that blow with the Canadians?
Yeah, exactly. The moment we arrived, they showed us that HUD footage.
What happened there?
Well, one of the A-10 pilots made a mistake in his war, and instead of strafing a fire from GBU explosion, he strafed a fire led by the Canadian soldiers on the other side of the river. They were burning their garbage before they moved on with their mission. 1 died, 30 were wounded. Nasty business, man.
Typical Americans.
That's unfortunate.
Affirmed, but you'll probably hear many more stories about successful CAS missions. Don't get absurd on these.
Okay guys, we've got about 35 nautical miles to fly to hit the TACAN, so we'll join you when we get a little bit closer.
Pontiac 1-1, Magic Pop-Up Group, 043, 435 at 12,000, cold.
Okay, so we're about 7.5 miles away from the TACAN right now. And what I'm going to do, just to make this a little bit more accurate, is we're going to turn off the TACAN ever so slightly here. Just going to put us a few degrees away from it, but obviously still flying in its direction. This is something that's very useful if you are landing by TACAN, guys. This technique's very useful. What you're going to see is as we kind of start to pass it, the needle's going to start to turn. Once that hits 1.8, which in this case is going to be the radial we're flying away from the TACAN, but if you were doing a landing, it would be the landing heading, the runway heading you're aiming for. So when that's just about to hit 1.8, we then turn onto the TACAN, and it means that as we overfly the TACAN, we are already on the radial 180, or radial 1.8. It just makes it a little bit more accurate. So I'm going to start turning about now. Whoa, okay, a little bit of frame rate lag there. Turn nice and hard here. We turned a little bit early. It's not the end of the world. So if we just nose over a little bit more,
Pontiac, overhead TACAN station in Kataisi.
then we can swing out round here and fly the 1.8 radial. You can see, actually we did a pretty good job there. It was a little bit scrappy right at the end. But you can see the needle's pointing just about away from us as we fly 1.8. Obviously if you were doing this for landing, you'd also have that visual cue of where the landing is, which is going to make life a little bit easier. There's a little bit of wind here, it gets corrected slightly. That's about where we want to be. Now if we look at our map, we can see Colt 1 and 2 also flying that 180 radial. Locks up there. There we go, you see most of the left hand side here. Hopefully coming in to join us. Again, let's have a look at the map. Yeah, we can see them there. Okay, so that's visual on Colt.
Colt Pontiac, we have you visual, ready to push from the anchor point.
Colt copies. Pushing toward next waypoint.
Which I shall assume is waypoint... Pontiac? Waypoint 6, I guess, for us. I guess we've done waypoint 5 now. So we just hit dest over here and type in 06. I'm just going to recorrect that. Let's get headed over towards that. Way around here to go. Why is it saying to us that waypoint 6 is north? Because we're still flying the TACAN. Okay, a little bit of screw up on my side there, guys. Just going to switch it back over to the TACAN. Just recorrect that. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're going to be flying around 40 nautical miles here to waypoint 6, guys, so I will be back in one moment.
Let's talk about the position sign and its function. You have 2 knobs.
Helicopters have just landed near the village. Situation seems to be under control.
001 flight. Prowler, roger. Stay your fuel.
We are closing to bingo. We need to hit the tanker.
0 Prowler, the tanker is at the front coordinates 18,000 feet. East-west racetrack. Right. Call 01, I want you to take over patrolling the ABL while Seraph is on the tanker. Go back to waypoint 4 and maintain position until relieved by Seraph. Prowler, called solid copy, pushing to waypoint 4. Pontiac, this is Gold. Continue towards Vasil. It seems we will have to postpone the ILS training to another time. We will see you on the ground. Gold out.
Okay, so there goes our ILS training. So we can now set our TACAN
this time, Pontiac is out.
back down to 22x, and the ILS is already set up fine. And it seems, just going to check this on that. We switch this over to TAC. Okay, if we're flying in about the right directions, we are again going to use the TACAN to land at Vatsyani. It's definitely the easiest way. We're still quite some distance out, so again I'll be back in one moment for the landing. Okay, through the magic of editing, we are now at 30 nautical miles. And we're just going to start our descent down to Vatsyani. See, we're going to be landing, I believe, on runway 32. Let's just call up ATC and just get that confirmed. So I'm going to switch the channel back to channel 1. And Vatsyani inbound.
Pontiac 1-1, inbound. Pontiac 1-1, Mirage 587, 435, QFE 29.46, runway 32, Japan altitude.
Okay, so we are going to be landing on runway 32.
We're closing in on Vatsyani. Go ahead and push channel 1 on the green radio now.
So we're going to head down to about 5,000 feet here, guys, and we're going to continue flying. This heading should put us around where we want to be, and then we'll turn left into Vatsyani as we get a little bit closer. So kind of keep an eye on our speed here. We're at idle throttle right now, so it's about where we want to be. Just check we're configured nicely for landing. Just gonna get these landing lights, they're all fine. Let's get the radar back on that. Get all these guys turned off now, they don't need to be on anymore. Everything else is looking pretty grand here. Feel pretty happy about that. Got 20 nautical miles out now. Somewhere over there. Let's look at the map quickly. Look at the map. There we go. So it looks like that's for Stavi, so the runway should be around that. We don't need to worry too much about that. We're down at 5,000 feet now, which is about where we want to be. Basically we're going to wait until our TACAN indicator hits probably around 33 and then we'll turn into the runway. Let's get our throttle back up. About 40% throttle right now. So that's Yanni there. What you're going to do, it's going to turn her and we're going to put her over onto a heading about 1-4. So we're actually flying parallel to the runway, quite a wide pattern, which is going to give us, actually let's fly around a heading 1-1 here. Not too worried about doing a full pattern, or even nearly. But just going to give us more chance to get this correct. Okay, let's get approach on here. Let's get our seat set up, and it's going to drop our throttle down to around 30%. Question is, do we have a waypoint set up for Vatiani? Let's have a look here. Waypoint set up for Vatiani. 0.7, waypoint 8. So let's just set waypoint 8 up here. I never know how to do an ILS landing, so it's fairly unlikely, but I know at the very least this needs to be set up on waypoint 8. So we can do that at least. And we could probably start considering turning in now. Fly a heading at 2-3. Sorry, not 2-3. We want to fly a heading of 0-5. Me screwing up my maths. We basically want to be flying 90 degrees to the runway here. So I'll probably do about right there. Just get our autopilot locks on again. And reduce our speed down. See our runway out there. We're looking pretty perfect for this. Back down to about 30% throttle here. Reduce our speed down. About there. Get our landing gear down. Just going to throttle up to try and maintain that speed. We don't want to be going a lot slower than that. Sits us about right there. We are about ready to commence our final turn in here. Okay. Keep our altitude and speed up here. Move a little bit faster. This is a lot easier with the virtual reality headset on. It's much more difficult for me to record, so I get to do it without. Is that it? It is. We turned in a little bit early there. There's absolutely no worries. Start bringing it back round, keep our speed up. Keep the speed under control. Let's just rudder around here.
Pontiac 1-1, request landing.
Is that tower?
Pontiac 1-1, request landing.
Okay, we're looking pretty good here. Trying to make sure I have a habit of flaring a little bit early. Just want to try and keep this under control. Keep our speed down. And let's get flared. A little bit of a heavy landing, but not too bad. Let's get that audio warning off there. Let's get our brakes on. Brakes under 100 knots, and then we do nose wheel steering below 40. And there we go, another successful landing. Okay. There's a sudden shadow there, and it's gone again. Slightly weird. Let's get wheel brakes on here. Let's get it turned off. And let's taxi to our landing space. I don't know where our boy is, but I'm sure he's underway. Okay, well guys, that was Mission 2 in the Mirage 2000c DCS campaign. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you do have any questions, or you're having problems yourself with this campaign, or you've noticed things that I'm doing wrong and you just want to tell me that I'm wrong, something you guys love to seem to do, give me a shout in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Fly safe.